Once upon a time, in a land where the sun blazed gold across rolling hills and the breeze carried whispers through the trees, there was a village so beautiful it seemed painted by dreams. This village thrived under King Daniel and Queen Sarah, a wealthy king and queen whose wisdom and kindness won every heart. Their riches overflowed into a royal mansion, the biggest palace in the kingdom, a marvel of towering stone walls, roofs gleaming with gold tiles, and gardens sprawling like a green sea. Inside, halls glittered with chandeliers, floors shone with marble, and treasures from distant lands filled every corner. Guards in silver armor stood watch, and servants bustled day and night. In this grand home lived their only children, Ellen, Hannah, and Rose, three clever princesses adored by all. The kingdom buzzed with hope, waiting for the day these sisters would choose husbands to share their royal legacy. By day, the sisters shone as princesses in the royal mansion. Ellen, with her sharp eyes and quick smile, wore silk gowns of emerald green. Hannah, calm and thoughtful, draped herself in sapphire blue. Rose, full of laughter, sparkled in ruby red. They'd sit on velvet thrones during feasts, wave from the golden balcony at festivals, and greet visitors with grace. Villagers gathered below, shouting, "Long live the princesses," praising their beauty and wit. But as dusk fell, a secret stirred. In their huge bedroom, lit by a silver moon, they'd whisper plans. Slipping off their fine clothes, they'd pull on patched dresses, rough brown cloth stitched with care, smear mud on their faces, and tug hoods over their hair. Through a secret tunnel under the gardens, hidden by thick vines and a creaky stone door, they'd escape the mansion's watchful eyes. No guard saw, no servant guessed, not even their parents knew. In the village, they became Lila, Mora, and Joy, common girls with lowered voices and slouched walks, unrecognizable to all. They'd weave through the dusty market, help carry baskets, and sit by smoky fires, swapping tales with farmers and fishers. The villagers loved these sisters for their cheer and helping hands, never dreaming they hailed from the grandest palace. Ellen, as Lila, would tease the baker's boy about his lumpy bread, her royal poise buried under giggles. Hannah, as Mora, would listen to old women's woes, her quiet nods hiding her mansion-land wisdom. Rose, as Joy, would dance with kids in the mud, her ruby-red grace turned to wild spins. They cherished this freedom, but their hearts hunted for something more, husbands who'd love them as these village girls, not as princesses atop a golden throne. For years, King Daniel used his vast wealth to host grand celebrations in the royal mansion's giant courtyard, hoping his daughters would find suitors. Trumpets blared, banners of every color fluttered, and tables groaned under feasts of roasted meat and sweet fruits. Rich men from across the kingdoms flocked like crows to gold, lords with chests of silver, traders with rare silks, princes with promises of ships and castles. The sisters watched from a dais, their faces polite but their eyes restless. A lord from the east once knelt, offering a crown of pearls. "Too stiff," Ellen whispered. A trader from the south piled gems at their feet. "Too greedy," Hannah murmured. A prince from the west boasted of his fleet. "Too loud," Rose sighed. Each time, they'd smile and say, "Not yet," sending the suitors away empty-handed. The kingdom grew restless. Why won't they choose? Villagers muttered at the well. Are they waiting for a king? Others guessed by the river. In the mansion's grand hall, King Daniel and Queen Sarah paced. "You're old enough," Daniel said, his voice echoing off marble walls. He'd noticed their tired eyes after late nights, their muddy slippers tucked away. "Are you unwell?" Sarah asked, brushing Ellen's hair. The sisters hid yawns and grinned. "We're fine," Hannah said. "We're looking in our own way," Rose added softly. "We'll know when it's real love," Ellen finished. Their hints danced around the truth, keeping their parents in the dark. To the court, they seemed picky, even proud. But in the village, as Lila, Mora, and Joy, they were on a quiet quest, watching, waiting, seeking kind hearts among the common folk. In their secret life, they saw the world raw and real. Rich suitors sometimes swaggered into the village between celebrations, their fine cloaks brushing the dirt. The sisters, hidden as common girls, watched them sneer at storekeepers, kick dust at beggars, or laugh at a child who fell. Not them, Ellen would whisper behind a cart. Never, Hannah agreed, hauling a bucket. No way, Rose nodded, sweeping a porch. They wanted men who shone without gold, honest souls who'd love them as friends, not for a palace. Over months, 3 village boys caught their eyes. Jacob, a lanky fisherman with gentle hands, mended nets for free and shared his catch with widows. Nathan, a wiry lad with a warm laugh, carried water for old women and cracked jokes with Lila, Mora, and Joy by the well. Ben, a shy boy with a kind grin, gave his last bread to hungry kids and sang silly songs that made them dance. The sisters grew close to them, building trust as common girls. One rainy day, Jacob fixed a leaking roof with Lila, chatting about the sea. "You're good company," he said, not knowing she was Ellen. Nathan raced Mora to the river, splashing her with a grin. "You're fun," he laughed, blind to her as Hannah. Ben taught Joy a tune on a twig flute, smiling. "You're the best listener," he said, unaware she was Rose. They'd sit by fires, share fish, and mend nets together, the boys falling for these sisters, without a hint of their crowns. The princesses saw their goodness, Jacob's patience, Nathan's cheer, Ben's care, and their own hearts warmed. But they kept watching, testing, waiting for the perfect moment. Time rolled on, and the sisters grew into wise young women. Their double life stretched thin, fewer village nights as suitors piled up at the mansion, more tired mornings dodging their parents' questions. "Where do you wander?" Sarah asked once, eyeing a muddy hem. "Just dreaming," Rose lied, her heart racing. They'd seen enough, rich men flaunted wealth, but poor boys shared it. One stormy night, huddled in their huge bedroom under the mansion's golden roof, thunder rumbling outside, they made a plan. "Jacob's my choice," Ellen said, her voice firm. "Nathan's mine," Hannah whispered, eyes bright. "Ben's perfect," Rose giggled, hugging a pillow. "The kingdom will gasp," Ellen added, "but it's real love." Suspense hung thick, could they pull this off? Days later, a horn sounded from the royal mansion. King Daniel climbed the golden balcony, his silver crown glinting. "My daughters will choose at last," he boomed, voice trembling with hope. The giant courtyard swelled with people, the air thick with whispers. Villagers pressed close, nobles stood proud, and the grandest celebration yet unfolded. Torches flared, drums pounded, and tables brimmed with food. Rich suitors arrived in waves. A lord from the east, tall and stern, laid a chest of silver coins before the dais. "For your glory," he said. A trader from the south, sly and sleek, offered spices that perfumed the air. "For your riches," he purred. A prince from the west, bold and brash, promised a ship with golden sails. "For your power," he grinned. The crowd buzzed, surely one would win the princesses of the biggest palace. Ellen, Hannah, and Rose stepped out, their silk gowns shimmering emerald, sapphire, ruby. Guards flanked them, the courtyard hushed. Their faces were calm, but their hearts thumped. "We've chosen," Ellen called, her voice cutting the silence. The rich men puffed up, smacking. Nobles leaned in, villagers craned necks. But the sisters turned, eyes scanning the edge of the crowd, past the lords and gold. A gasp rose as they pointed to 3 figures in warm clothes, Jacob, Nathan, and Ben, poor boys who'd slipped in, unsure why they'd been called. "Jacob mends nets for free," Ellen said, stepping forward. "He shares fish with the needy." "Nathan carries water for the weak," Hannah said, her voice steady. "He lifts everyone's spirits." Ben gives bread to all, Rose said, smiling wide. He cares without asking. The crowd froze, then erupted. Them, the Lord roared, face red. They are dirt poor. The trader spat, you're fools. The prince laughed bitterly, a disgrace, and stormed off, cloak swirling. Villagers blinked, nobles muttered, and tension crackled like a storm. King Daniel gripped the balcony rail, his crown tilting. Why these boys? He demanded, voice shaking. Queen Sarah clutched her necklace, stunned. They've no wealth. Ellen faced them, fearless. We've lived 2 lives. As princesses, you see us here. As Lila, Mora, and Joy, we've roamed the village in secret, out through our tunnel. Anna took a breath. We watched our men act. Rich ones were cruel away from this palace, snubbing the poor, yelling at workers. But Jacob, Nathan, and Ben were kind to us as common girls, not knowing who we are. Rose beamed. They love us as friends, not for gold or this mansion. That's the love we want. The courtyard buzzed. Jacob, Nathan, and Ben stumbled forward, eyes wide. You're the princesses. Jacob croaked, staring at Ellen. From this huge palace. Nathan gaped at Hannah. And you chose us? Ben asked Rose, grinning. We loved you as Lila, Mora, and Joy, they said together, voices trembling with wonder. The sisters laughed, tears glinting. And we love you for you, Ellen said. Villagers whispered, Lila, Mora, and Joy were their princesses. Memories clicked, Lila's teasing, Mora's listening, Joy's dancing. It's them, a baker cried. They're ours, an old woman cheered. King Daniel's face hardened. Poor boys for my daughters, he growled. They've no place in this palace. Sarah wavered. No gold, no land, how can this be? The sisters stood tall. Their hearts are richer than gold, Ellen said. A fisherman pushed forward. Jacob's fed my family. An old woman shouted, Nathan's my strength. Kids ran up. Ben's our hero. The crowd's voices rose, pleading. Daniel's eyes softened, Sarah's tears fell. You've seen their souls, he said at last, voice low. If the people love them, they are worthy. Sarah smiled. Welcome, sons. The weddings burst into life, the royal mansion's giant hall ringing with music, dances, and cheers. Tables stretched long, piled with food from the king's stores. Villagers mingled with nobles, the air warm with joy. Rich suitors slunk away, heads low, their treasures useless. Ellen danced with Jacob, her emerald gown swirling with his patched shirt. Hannah spun with Nathan, sapphire silk brushing his rough vest. Rose twirled with Ben, ruby red meeting his faded tunic. Their laughter filled the biggest palace, proving love outshone wealth. As the sisters began their new lives, the kingdom stood in awe. They thought the princesses of the grand mansion craved riches, but they'd been blind. Ellen, Hannah, and Rose had risked everything, sneaking through shadows to find truth. They'd chosen men who glowed with kindness, not gold, shocking all who'd misjudged them. The story spread like wildfire, a tale of cleverness, suspense, and love's triumph. It taught that true worth isn't in palaces, coins, or crowns, but in how you lift others up. As the sun dipped low, painting the land warm, the village sang of the day's wonders, their hearts wide open. Ellen, Hannah, and Rose, with Jacob, Nathan, and Ben at their sides, stepped into a bright future, leaving a kingdom forever changed by their daring choice. The kingdom flourished, not with gold, but with hearts united in care and truth, proving that love could bridge the grandest palace and the humblest heart. The story teaches us that true worth isn't in what you own, like a palace or piles of gold, but in how you treat others. Kindness and love shine brighter than riches, And the best treasures are found in the heart, not the hands. If you love this story, please like it, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe for more exciting tales. Tell us what you think in the comments, we'd love to hear from you.